No. So good morning, everyone. Thank you for joining. This is a monthly roundtable series that I'm starting to have just for business owners or people who are thinking about starting their own businesses. We have a true mix of people who are just starting out and people who are experts in their respective fields. And one of the reasons I definitely wanted to bring people together was I love to do that. I think I think the more and more, especially after a lot of reflection this year, the more that I connect the people that are in my network, it just brings so much positivity, um,
Amy.
and just, intentionality and purpose with which I try to lead my life. And it brings me so much joy. And I love that people connect with one another, develop their own relationships, or, seek out your business ideas or your own expertise. And that connection in a very challenging and difficult time like 2020 has been what keeps me going. And so I hope to continue to do this, because I think that there are so many people in my network that I know that are, who have become dear friends, who were, just acquaintances, but, develop that friendship. And I hope that I can always continue to be a resource for you. Um, my name is Cherish Cruz. I'm an estate planning and business succession planning attorney in Buckhead. I do live in Gwinnett, so I have a lot of ties to Gwinnett. And really, 2020 has been challenging, but all of you who are on this call have kept me going. I am in gratitude for that. And as we're entering the season of Thanksgiving and the holiday season, I just wanted to let you know that. I met Diana Murphy
A year ago.
a year ago, and I remember texting her on the day. It was at the Pink event. Remember that, June? And so it's this wonderful event that they had. And so Diana was, as always, very charismatic. I don't know what she was doing. She was holding a sign asking us to bid on something. And, or I can't remember, but I was instantly attracted to her energy, her charisma. And little did I know that I would develop a lifelong friend.
Yeah.
And it's been beautiful because even though we've known each other for such a short period of time, she has the wisdom and the expertise. I've seen her pivot from the different situations. I've seen her grow as an entrepreneur, and she is such a source of inspiration to me personally and professionally. And she is just a wonderful, wonderful resource, especially around mindset and business. And so, Diana, if you want to take it away, and then
Yes.
you just run with this, and we'll have introductions afterwards.
Yeah.
After we
What
wrap
time do
up,
you want me to stop?
probably around 8:45.
That's what I figured, but if I have to, and remind me if I'm getting rolling or if I'm answering someone's questions, sometimes I won't notice. So just stop me. We'll get it done. We can
Sure.
always continue the conversation offline. I'm Diana Murphy. I think I'm affectionately calling myself the coach, the mindset coach for the business owner. What my work has really done is help plug in with owners when they are experiencing an overload of stress and overwhelm, and they know that they're not showing up in their business in the way that they want, or that the joy has kind of like been sapped out of the work that they are doing. And this can happen in two places. I really have been serving when you're starting your business and you're doing all the things and you don't understand why it's not growing. And I have a separate program that I'm creating for that. And then my one-on-one work, and that one-on-one work can happen with new business owners, but also with the one-on-one work I do and the personal coaching I do is really plugging in when business owners are making a pivot, they're in a growth space where they're starting to add a team and they don't understand why they're so overwhelmed, or they are having to make some big decisions. I have a gal that is her dad is retiring and they've been partners for all these years. And that's where you plug in. Like when all the thoughts, it's ruining her family relationships because they're all so stressed out about this transition. Yes, like a different mindset will be required of her as she moves into solely taking care of that business. And our brain works in pattern. And so the way we got to where we are now is not always the way we are going to, like the way we're thinking about ourselves is how we'll get to the next step. And we think something's gone wrong when we're in that rub, and all that's required are some small shifts and knowing that our brain kind of freaks out when we're in a new space. So I give that platform to kind of help you understand kind of where I come from in coaching. And I want you to interrupt me if there's like anything that doesn't make sense, or really it's like, what are you talking about, Diana? Because moving on will not help you. This is not a presentation for my benefit. This is for you. So what has happened for me is, and I want, if you leave with nothing else today, is remembering that your brain will look for the scarcity. It will look for the negatives. So I want in this presentation to start looking at that you have everything you need. That you like look for evidence. Our brain loves looking for evidence when we point it in the right direction. So even in Mike is, sharing that he's in his most stressful, kind of end of the year, packed in with his busy season. He knows it. He knows it ahead of time. And when we're in that overwork or those seasons where we're working long hours, like it can get like where we're like, oh my God, I don't have enough time. I don't have enough energy. That would be the time I'd ask you, like, where do I have what I need? And what might I need to tweak in this season to support me to get through it? But where do you have everything you need? Point the brain in the right direction today. And I have been starting, and I'd love for you to use the chat. It can be a little distracting to the conversation, but I think it helps. What are your wins this week? Where is a place that you have had a win? It can be a small one, it can be a big one, it can be a shift that you've realized you've made that is needed. Start sharing, and if you don't want to share with the group, that's fine. Write it down. What is a win that you've had this week? Anybody like to share? Even open your mic. What is a win? And I'll share with you why I'm starting every call this way.
Well, go ahead.
Keith Nab, go ahead. I'll let you go first.
Okay. We had a win because our server was having trouble. So luckily we adjusted and have been able to keep on track by using alternate computer methods. So it could have been a huge tragedy this week, but instead we are trudging along and rerouted and made it work. So
oh, thank God.
Yeah, seriously, it would have been a really bad mess.
Yeah. Oh, great. Congratulations, whoever figured that out.
I was the one that paid for it. So
yes, that's that. And knowing when to ask for help. Anybody else have a win that the WIG meeting was that? Cherish, tell me what that is.
Well, there's a group of ladies who I absolutely love, and a lot of them. But it's just we had a good, successful meeting, and
awesome.
So setting out our vision for 2021, and really being intentional with this time. I'm finding myself to be very kind of stressed out because it's the last week before I can't believe it's Thanksgiving next week, but also just this is holiday season. It's crunch time. It's the end of year time. Clients are trying to wrap up. Everyone, board meetings and all of that. So, so that has been a win.
Ooh, Maria, I'm seeing yours. Pre-work for trainings has paid off. Are you like me? Where are you? Wait. Okay, there you are. Sorry. I love gallery, but like, are you that type that like, I'm thinking about my own mastermind right now. And it's like, how can I make the most value of that hour? And it's like, oh yeah, did you do the homework? Like, so is that you just like slowing down a little bit and taking some time before?
Always. And I think, the win has been the continual mindset of, Whatever I have coming up, start very, very, very early and just touch, along the way instead of crashing in, the week before. So things that I've just set up this year, kind of customizable templates, but they've helped a lot in this crazy time of not a minute to think. Those have helped a lot.
Yeah. When we're going the fastest, when our business is bringing the most to us, it is the opportunity for us to slow down our brain. Doesn't slow us down, but slow down our brain so it can offer the most to what's going on. I got my 5th grade. Yes, this is a real thing. Getting your 5th grader on the bus on time this morning and still getting your own cup of coffee, Mike. Right? Yes. Anybody else like to share a win?
Oh, I was just gonna say that this year I've been trying to focus a lot more on self-care. But in this area, one thing that I wasn't doing very well was like taking vacation, because for me, I'm working at home every day. So it's like, well, I'm home, I can't travel anywhere. I'm just going to save up my vacation. This is a horrible idea, because then I was starting to feel really burned out at the end of the year. So I've scheduled out my vacation. I'm actually going to take my vacation. So from this Friday through Thanksgiving, I'm taking time off, and then I'm taking the last 2 weeks of the year off for Christmas and New Year. So very happy.
Yeah, Alina, is that how you say your name? Alina,
yes, exactly.
I realized since COVID, March, I have not taken really deliberate, total shut it down time off. And that is not my normal flow. I think a lot of us have gotten into that mindset where it's really tripped us up. So yes, me too. I canceled everything. I had a lot of cool stuff on the calendar next week. And I was like, nope, we are the brain needs a rest. When we rest our brain, it really works. Now I want to this mindset. This is a mindset tool. I would love for you to either start every day, or at least by the end of the week on Friday, you take at least 15 minutes to count your wins. Why? Not just to make ourselves feel better, although it does. We create momentum in what is working in our business by training the brain to look at what's working. And when we celebrate wins, the brain goes, oh, that was fun, and it will want to do more. And so it's a self-reward. It's a way the brain works. But if you want to create momentum, start celebrating your wins, no matter how small. And then make sure I was always the one that waited and celebrated the big ones, big gift, big, things with, I hit that number, and then would celebrate myself. And it just wasn't working. It wasn't creating some intrinsic, my brain was not seeing what was working. And that's what I want to share with you today. I was in the most amazing room 3 years ago. I was in my mastermind. We gather as coaches that are certified in the same school. We were gathered to celebrate our year, but I was not celebrating. I had hit a very big goal. I had not hit it, and I was feeling actually a lot more shame. And I did not know what to do. I had such big desires. You can tell I have a lot of energy. I'll do anything to get the goal, right? I'll work the hours. I'll tell me what to do. I'll do it. And I was doing all the things as a coach, but I was not creating the type of business that I wanted. And what I learned in that amazing mastermind was my coach, the head coach of my school, pulled back the curtain for us and had all of our top producers share their stories. And I saw where I was doing it right in 6 different powerful stories. That's what had been wrong for me, is that I was trying a lot of things, taking a lot of action, but my brain would be if it didn't look exactly how I thought it should, I stopped and pulled back. But I was already doing so many of the things and was actually creating such a great craft of coaching, where I was even seeing that others that had created a lot of money, created a big practice, were not fine tuning. I was seeing some strengths in me that I knew I was even a stronger coach than them. I had walked into that room in shame because I thought I was doing it wrong. It was never going to work. This, high energy, that type, straight A student was like, really, I was demoralized. What I'm sharing with you today is what I learned in my path to start creating a business that is profitable, that I am loving, and where I am working with clients that were like people that are dream clients for me. I am having a blast. And what I want to share with you is it comes from asking better questions. Let me share the screen. And Google Chrome, nope, it's not. Just one second. Presentation mode. I'm going to share, sorry, my presentation mode with Google is, let me just, are you seeing my screen with mindset? Why isn't it? All right. Do you guys see my screen? Okay, great. What I learned in that moment was that I did have everything I needed, but I needed to shift the way I was thinking about myself and my business. And the 3 questions that I started asking raised my productivity in a way that really created growth, money growth, but also growth in myself. I grew in expertise and value to the clients I was serving, and I started leading with intention. Actually, this piece was where I really started creating more joy at working in my business. And it was all because I started asking better questions. The brain loves a great question. And what are those 3 questions? Where am I being self-critical? It sounds like it's just one second, I want to stop share. Where are you being self-critical? Where are you letting your brain go to that place like, what am I doing wrong? That's the wrong question. What am I doing? Where am I failing? Where are you feeling so annoyed and frustrated with yourself that it's shutting you down? That comes from, I'll never get it right. That comes from the ways you're talking to yourself, that conversation in your head that you find yourself like, why did I do that? What am I thinking? That went, I don't have what it needs. Any of those thoughts are literally optional. And when we can create an awareness of where we're being really harsh with ourselves, we can lift that harshness so that we can get moving. When I started really realizing I needed to be a little kinder to this business owner and not being like, why didn't you hit that goal? Why did you talk in that way on that, that like today I could get all over myself about like, why didn't you set the Google presentation in presentation mode? Because I just got nervous, like it didn't work how I thought it was going to. And I could be so like upset with myself and ruin and not be present with you the rest of the thing. But what I'm learning to do, and new opportunities will always give me a chance to practice this, but being aware where your critical voice is getting in the way. So like self-judgment shuts us down, does not give us insight. And so what I want to offer is where you notice that you are being self-critical, to take a pause and get curious about what you're thinking. And for me, I'll do something really, really brave and I'll literally walk away. And it may even happen after our time together today. I'm like all out there, I'm giving this my all. But what can happen is my brain goes, yeah, like that was really brave. And I have like a vulnerability shock, and I'll be like, you did it wrong. You didn't do this thing here. You didn't, like, I look for all the evidence of what was wrong. and am not able to see what did go right and maybe someone that I would love to connect with going forward, I don't realize I shut the door and I don't take any steps forward. So look at places, if you're finding your productivity, you're doing a lot of actions. Most times what can kick us off is the way that we're talking about our work and getting really negative. And so we're stuck in a loop and not solving for it. So notice where you might be self-critical and get curious and have your own back. What I would say to that critical voice in your head, I do this with my clients all the time. Please do not talk to my friend that way. And I'm talking to the critical voice. Please do not talk to my friend that way. And when we realize, we think that being harsh with ourselves, I think we learned this in school or with our parenting, like this is not undoing and part of therapy, right? But we will have embedded a belief that like if we're hard on ourselves, it will get us moving. It does, but in a really stressful way, not an insightful way, not in a way that we're serving well with our clients. Any questions on that? Do you notice that self-critical voice? What does it say to you? Yeah. And all it does when we feel that our own judgment, it will just shut us down. When we go, okay, Diana, you did your best. It was 8 a.m. You didn't set up the presentation on your desktop. What are you going to do next time? Oh, every time I want to use a slide deck, I'm going to make sure I put it in presentation mode before I get on the phone. And being kind there will give me insight. That's such a little example, but I think this is a place where we really, really can get more flow and enjoy our businesses more. Do not be hard on yourself. It doesn't work. It shuts you down. Be kind, curious. What is going on here? All right. My next question is, this is my favorite one. And I think this group, we could stay here the entire time. What does your client need? When I started taking more time to think very intentionally about my clients, not myself, like when we're business building, we are very focused on how we're showing up in the world and what we're doing. And that makes total sense, right? But what can be really freeing and it actually drop the judgment is take a lot of time to think about what our clients need. Invest time in your week reviewing what like someone's scenario, like I think of Mike when you're doing your plans and things like that, not worrying. And I think you're mature enough, Mike, but as if there was a new financial planner in the group, this would be my advice, like looking at what do they need from me to move forward? Not do they like me? Am I doing this right? Am I like all these questions are really natural when we're growing in our business, but what are ways that I can go even deeper serving my clients? When we get out of our own head and get in our client's head, we immediately raise our value. It becomes so natural when we spend more of that time. And I'll share with you an example. When COVID hit, I knew as a coach, I was going to figure out that my thought model, that what I think creates results, was going to be tested. Okay, in a pandemic, am I going to hit the goals I set out for the year, no matter what the circumstances were? And I went all in serving people that were coming to my calls. I created some free programs. And I took time after those calls, not to evaluate. I used to evaluate, like, how did that feel? How did that go? From my own lens, I started watching my videos. And what I did is I saw, oh, wait, they do understand their zone of genius. This is where they're getting stuck. Oh, I can't wait to talk about that on the next call. I started studying how people were reacting to the questions. I started realizing they needed just more coaching time, not to be taught. They knew these concepts, they didn't know how to apply them. So for me as a coach, I have shifted, and people can tell you to do these things, but until you really start seeing it paying off and realize how intrinsically you can enjoy your business again, but also raise your value of what you're bringing your clients, spend intentional time thinking about your clients. This can be on a walk. I call it super thinking, where it's like your client has an issue and you're really stressed out about it. Take some time to walk and ask an open-ended question. What does he need? What does she need right now? And it will help you. I think what it did for me, I got braver about what work I was bringing back to my clients. I was like, yeah, that client really needs to understand. When I wasn't worried about whether they would like the call, whether my clients would like me or stay working with me. Newer coach transitioning into mature business owner was like, I was so worried. Will they stay with me? Am I doing it right? Well, when I was there, I was not serving them. But when I also spent time digging in, what do they need? I got braver at questions I asked. I got braver at presenting my work to the world and to those individuals in my one-on-one. I got braver at asking some hard questions. And when we stay in a busy brain space, we're not always strong enough or insightful enough to get there. So this is one way that I showed up, like where Cherish has said, like I saw Diana pivot and transition, like that was what was happening. I learned how fun it was to study the work I was doing, but in the client's lens. So if you're really like concerned about the work you're bringing in the world, like, and is this working? Is this, just study your clients, go in and think about them more intentionally. Does anybody have any questions there? None at all. Keith, do you have a question?
I have a comment. We deal with senior citizens, and I've really noticed this year, and my staff has, that how much more anxiety they have. So I think a lot of our counseling this year is not just about helping them with their Medicare, but it's sort of just reassuring them that things are going to be okay. A lot of them have not done anything over the last 8 months. They have literally stayed at home, and you got to listen to them. They're talking about missing their grandkids and missing their churches and all that stuff. So it's tough on the seniors.
Yeah. And when you come from that lens, you're not only, they're going to take action and do the things that they need to do, like getting their Medicare straight and those things. You're the trusted advisor at a level that is just so different. But it also, like the way that you work with them and wait, I know they're really shut down and that kindness of opening those conversations and that empathic approach just can make this more fun, and where you have more of a calling in that space. It answers that, like, why am I doing this? Like, oh, I am that one voice. I might be that one conversation. It might be helping them with technology so they can have more access to their family. It might be those little value adds that can be so important. That's so cool. Does anybody else have a cool example that might help another of ways that they've just dived in on what their clients need and got in their head a little bit and how that played out in your business?
Oh, I do.
Cherish.
Well, I mean, I think when we were shifting from in-person to online, that was an adjustment. And then really delving into the hard topics and discussion and making it as easy for them as possible. So sometimes I'll have older clients. And so, we've done virtual signings where my assistant will go into the car, wait outside, be on their driveway, drop it off, because they can't, a lot of the older people can't print. I mean, not a lot. So there's some individuals who don't feel comfortable printing stuff out, doing online. So it was a lot of hand-holding, but the appreciation from them was amazing because they loved it. They loved that I went out of their way, or we'll do outdoor signings because they're not comfortable. And just trying to be creative in the way that we handle the clients, and then responsive to their needs, where they say, okay, I don't want to go in. Okay, well, what can we do? Does that mean my assistant driving out to Alpharetta or, the south side of Atlanta? And so just trying to figure it out, but knowing that they desperately need these estate planning documents, and to try to just get it done. Let's get it done and make them feel that it's okay. And so that part has been helpful.
And I think that our initial resistance, about like, oh my God, I can't be in the car all the time, or I can't, do this extra piece, then we do as a business owner, well, wait, how can I make it easy for me if they really do need this? How can I think we also have to make sure we're honoring our own energy and our own way of bringing that business. But I think when we get more creative, we spend some time like, how could I work this out? One example I think, and this is really honoring your client's journey with you. This is a way that we can just intrinsically honor that journey, that they will always come back for what we have, and trust, that creates that trusted advisor relationship in such a natural way, and in a way that it's fun because we're doing more for them, like Keith was and Cherish is, and then we see the payoff and can move forward. I ordered a Apple Watch for Christmas for my son, and Apple, even before the pandemic, was testing a courier service that shows up and helps you set up your device at your home. And it's been launched in Dallas because all of a sudden I'm really, and they didn't charge me for it, by the way. So the whole experience of my son's girlfriend actually getting the watch, and she can't now wait to share the story. Think about how valuable that is, that they had that in place before the pandemic, solving a problem for their clients. We don't have time. We're not driving, like Dallas is a big driving city, probably more than even Atlanta in some ways. That they like, oh, wait, we'll go to them. We'll help them set up, and they're going to have a better customer experience. And then they were in place with pandemic to be, handling the Christmas and having work for their employees. It's served on both ends. I was seeing this and I was like, that just blew my mind. Do you have any other ways that you've applied that you'd love to just share out loud and celebrate?
So I have, I don't know if this is a celebration, but I've had a number of clients who've even have lost a spouse or a parent, 8 of them, in fact, over the last 3 months.
Mike.
2 of them from COVID. So it's been a tough year, but I get so involved in those clients' lives that I was the first call that many of them made when they, where do I go? What do I do? And just helping them navigate through those difficult times.
Mike, that shows that you've been in their hearts and minds all along, right? Like that encourages me. It's like, I want to be that first call when a business owner needs support. Like and you have created that all along. And if we as newer business owners, or any of those that are newer, if you can be encouraged that building that relationship, I think Cherish is so good at this, that creating that safety, creating those relationships, if we simplify our process of growing as a business owner by remembering that, wait, if I can be with them and continue to solve the problems that are in front of them, I can grow my business. That is going to work for me. That is going to pay off. It's like planting those seeds that grow later. Great example, Mike. Anybody else have something? I have just one more question. All right. I love this question. When we're hustling to start our business, when we really are feeling days where the business is happening to us. I'm having a little bit of that right now. My calendar is really full, but I want to create some space to create. I have a new program, a new mastermind I'm doing next spring. And, I still want to be in development phase on some of the new things I want to do, but my calendar is really full. So I feel like I look at my calendar and it's like, well, I won't get to that today, but that's not true. I started asking, in the way that we're putting our energy towards revenue producing and client important tasks, is really getting clear about what does today require of me. Really asking that question. What does today, top 3 things, sometimes, like if I have to put those 3 things on the top of a written calendar. I use my Google Calendar to write through, but when I have a break, when I actually see, oh, I'm supposed to do that one thing, I look like I know I'm going to feel proud of my day if I get to those 3 top revenue producing activities. This is where the business owner, whether you're new, because when you're new, you're hustling with a lot of, and creating a lot of relationships, doing a lot of development. When then you've created those clients and are still needing to, all of us need to continue with business development. How do you, handle that day? How do we stay, centered and focused? And I think it could be as simple as like taking some time in the morning. What does today require of me? Let's see, I think it's building a better, I have a new podcast that launched and I explain this concept. I'm going to do it really quickly with you here, but it's in the episode, Building a Better Mindset, a Stronger Mindset. What I've started doing in the morning when I feel that overwhelmed, like I'll get with my journal, and this is a 5-minute exercise and it builds on itself. It does better if you don't just use it on the tough days, you use it every day. So I woke up with a sore back, with like, oh, I'm a little groggy. And I took the time to, for 5 minutes, what am I feeling right now? And get really honest with what your current emotions are. So often we're like nervous, anxious, and we let that ride underground all day. What I have started doing is acknowledging, even though it's a little uncomfortable, I'm a really good I stay in my head more than I avoid my emotions. And so by honoring what those like top 3 feelings are for the day, and I look at those and I look why, I'll take a little bit like, oh yeah, I'm worried that this webinar won't go right. Or I'm, concerned about this client. Or we'll find some crappy thought that says, oh, it's not going to work out. Like Keith, I think of your server issue. It's like, oh, this is never going to work. Oh my God. And our brain, when we say thoughts like that, goes into a spiral. So to have better days and when you are waking up nervous, our brain leans towards negative, really dropping into, okay, admitting that how you're feeling. And sometimes that can just allow it to be processed and move on. Why? If you have that time, like what thoughts are coming up? Oh, well, of course I'm feeling anxious because I think it's not going to work. Okay, that's a thought. I can think differently. And not to turn it around, but I've been using this and this really works. What do I need today? What does today require of me? And for me, I immediately started thinking about you all today. Are these new business owners? Are they established? What are they worried about in COVID? What is going on for them? And it helped me calm down so much. It helped me know that I was going to have fun with you all today, that I would feel connected. I created that connection ahead of time. What else is required of me? I know that I need to be, when I have a break in my calendar today because of how it looks, I have 45 minutes of break today. But I know that it's like, I need to intentionally shift from one thing to another. And on my client calls, I need to intentionally pause at 45 minutes, close my coaching calls so I can literally just go to the restroom and go on. What does today require of me? It requires a little bit of pausing between. And that alone makes the day, on a very full calendar day, on a day we want to get a lot done, that helps me drop into present in a way that really, really serves me. So I hope that this practice might, and if you have some questions about it, let me know. I hope that practice can really, really serve you. It has really served me. I'm an avoider of emotion. I've been coached like strong this last few years. I've really gone in on learning to process emotion for me. But that little practice, you can drop into any emotion you want. You need calm, just start saying that I'm dropping into calm right now. Admit you're anxious. Okay, why? Yep, I got a big thing today. I need calm, confidence, and just allow that emotion to flood in you and go. It sounds kind of woo-woo, but it's not. Our thoughts create our feelings, and use the thoughts that serve you, that create the emotions that you need for the day. I want to share just, let me get to this screen. I have something for you, and then I want to let us have some fun getting to really know each other today, because that's why we're here. There we go. Share screen. All right. I let's move this. I want you to become the powerful owner that your business needs. The way to do that is mindset. The way you think about yourself and the way you think about your business and your future is everything. And that big goal and dream that you have about moving forward, that is so possible. One of the things that I do with my clients is hold their huge, big dreams that they might not even be able to say out loud to another human, that they share them with me, and I hold them kind of sacred. And then we go to work getting there. That's what I do with the business owners that I work with. But I want to offer two things where I can plug in and support you right now. I want to offer this group a 30-minute mindset call. I'm going to share my Acuity link in the comments, but if you miss it, my email is diana@dianamurphycoaching.com. Let's just hop on the phone. I have room in my calendar as I roll into December. I have a few clients rolling off, so I've got some space, and I'd love to give you a 30-minute call. Pick one issue that came up today. Let's get a personalized plan of action for you so you can move forward and close this year the way you'd love to. I started a new podcast for you. You have a lot of podcasts. There are a lot of cool people to follow. This one is for you because it's 10 minutes and it's talking in the way that I taught today. It's giving you one, and this is my learning how to make a podcast truly 10 minutes. It takes about 90 minutes in my week to create a 10-minute podcast, because I want to give you that one question per week that you need. What is that one? And then you're going to have a library. Every Monday I go live, but you will also have a library if you subscribe and want to dig in. But I don't suggest binging. I suggest getting to know how I show up there, and then choose the ones that you need, but stay with me. And one question a week. Well, this is how you can become the powerful owner that your business needs. That's all I got, Cherish. I know that when I finally started looking at what was working in my business, it released a lot of the drama my brain was having. And let me stop the share. And I know that that's possible for you no matter where you are in your business right now. So I hope these 3 questions, you'll grab one of them and apply that this week. And if you have any questions, reach out to me. I'll put my 30-minute link though in the box. You can copy and paste it and get with me there. Any questions?
Thank you, Diana.
Oh, you're welcome. What an honor to be with you all today. I hope you reach out.
Yeah, no, this is absolutely amazing. And for those of you who have to drop off, we are just staying on just to do some intentional networking and, do introductions. It really is a joy for me. Diana has been such a great resource during this crazy, crazy time. And I can't remember what the title was when we first started doing those, the coaching and the monthly coaching earlier this year during the pandemic. But that helped me maintain my sanity, especially
so
as we were, and especially as we were transitioning into this new environment. But what I like to do now is if you can stay on, feel free to. I think, you should reach out to Diana. She is amazing, and I am just so in gratitude.
Let's have some fun.
Yeah. And she's given me a lot of clarity on things that I had never, ever thought about. And, as each season changes, that shift in your mind also changes. So what was back in, the beginning of March, my shift has to, it's changed. So, but if you want to stay on, I'm going to unmute everybody. And if you want to, tell everybody what you do and what your intentions are for, as we're approaching 2021, that would be lovely. And so, Diana, do you want to go ahead and?
Yeah, you guys know what I do. but I have two ways of showing up in the world right now. I have a new mastermind that's invitation only. So we should have a conversation, see if this is a fit for you. I'm carefully picking the people in that small group, but that's for new business owners. And my one-on-one work is for that established business owner. And if anything intrigued you today and you'd love to talk more, that deserves a conversation. So that's where I'm showing up in the world, in a way where I'm plugging in at two different points in a business owner's life and want to create something different in those spaces for them. And I just thank you for the honor of being here today. I can't wait. I do show up on LinkedIn, so I'm going to try to take down your names today and link with you there.
Yeah, no, definitely.
And sign up for my podcast. I have a contest right now. You will receive my welcome gift that I send my one-on-one clients. And if you win the drawing, but I need rates and reviews so that my podcast gets more exposure to other business owners. That's it.
Right. So Mike, do you want to go? You're next on the gallery view.
Sure. So I think everybody has heard from Diana. She introduced me already as a financial advisor, but I think, and I used to joke that I worked 25/8 for my clients, but in this pandemic world now, I really do feel like I am working 25/8 because I never leave, right? I'm working remotely, but I get to I do what I do because I love what I do because I get to help people, as you kind of already heard. I am a certified financial planner, and that's not that big of a deal. There are about 1 in every 5 advisors are CFPs, but I'm also a RICP, or Retirement Income Certified Professional. There's only about 1% of advisors who do that. So basically what I get to do is to help my clients optimize their finances so that they can maximize their lifestyles.
Awesome. Alina, you want to introduce yourself?
Sure. Hi, everybody. I'm Alina, and I'm an attorney. I've been practicing for about 8 years. I'm in-house at MailChimp, which is a technology company. We help small businesses and by providing them with marketing tools, digital marketing tools. Actually, over half of our customers get our services for free, and we scale our plans with the size of your business. So when you're smaller, you don't pay anything. And then as you grow, you start to pay a little bit more and a little bit more, which I love. And I'm also the board chair of a nonprofit called We Love BuHi, and they support the multicultural diversity of the Buford Highway neighborhood here in Atlanta. Our original mission is around storytelling and design, and telling and uplifting the stories of everyday immigrants and multicultural people that live in our amazing community here in Atlanta. Since COVID, we've pivoted to food insecurity, and we've provided over 52,000 meals and over 7,000 boxes of fresh produce. And we're going to be continuing that through next year. And that's really where I love the legal work that I do, but I love the community work that I do even more. And so I'm really excited to meet all of you today. And I just wanted to say thank you, Diana. I really love this presentation. I've been trying to focus on shifting my mindset this year. It's been like an overarching goal of mine, and I just really appreciate your tips.
I'm so glad. And thank you, MailChimp, for being free at first.
Yeah, I think a lot of people use MailChimp, and they're fantastic. And Alina is, very humble, but she's awesome. So.
I can't wait to reach out. I have a personal story. The co-founder of MailChimp.
She knows all the good places to eat.
Yeah, the co-founder of MailChimp bought my house out of the... I know Ben Chestnut. How fun.
You probably know better than I do.
I love it.
Okay. So Mara, do you want to introduce yourself?
Sure. So thank you, Cherish, for inviting me and introduce me earlier in this meeting. I'm a 3L at Emory Law, which means I'm graduating. I consider that like a big change in my life next year. I'm going to start my first full-time job in my life, which is not as stressful as starting a business, but in this stage of my life, it's pretty stressful too.
Yes,
so
it is.
That's a big event. That's a big event. You should celebrate that. Yeah. Definitely.
I can definitely benefit from Dan's presentation today. It's terrific. And I'm really interested in Elena's community work actually, because I eat on Beaufort Highway all the time.
Yeah, I'll have to introduce you to.
Yeah, I'm definitely going to reach out after this meeting, and good to meet you all.
Okay, thanks, Mara. Hi, Lynn, good morning.
Hi, hello. Thank you for inviting me to this event. First, I want to say hi to Mike. Mike was with Morgan Stanley several years ago. Miss seeing you. I miss seeing everybody while working remotely, but it's good to see you here, Mike. And also Keith Knapp, I think he got off. My husband recently retired and he's turning 65 this month. And Keith my husband is a high stress individual. He did such a good job of making him feel comfortable that he was making the right decisions with Medicare and so forth.
Oh, so good.
But I'm a financial advisor with Morgan Stanley. I run what is called a virtual family office, and the ultra wealthy have their own virtual family office. They have their own in-house attorneys, their own in-house CPAs that do nothing but work for them. And I came up with this concept: why can't the average person have something similar to a virtual family office? So with my clients, I work very closely with their CPAs and with their attorneys. We all sit down together and we look at where the client is today, where the client wants to be down the road, and we build a plan to fill that gap. And it takes many advisors. It takes the CPA, the attorney, the financial advisor, and depending on the individual, it's going to take some other people as well. But this is something that I really enjoy doing. I make sure that nothing gets lost between the cracks, that all the I's are dotted and T's are crossed.
Thank you, Lynn. Awesome. I'm so glad to see you here today.
Good to see you.
Let me shift. I'm like, okay. Sherry, how are you? Thank you for joining us.
Thank you. Sorry I had to be late. I actually have a 7 a.m. networking meeting on a different Zoom, so had to Zoom hop this morning. I've heard you speak, Diana, and I loved your tips. I wrote down a whole bunch of notes. I'm all about mindset. I think it is as important. I totally agree with all the ideas and got some great new ideas. So I have spent 30 years in the wellness field, and I call myself a self-care mentor. I love helping people really get focused on how they can feel better, feel younger, take natural strategies like really focusing on sleeping better. That is the most important thing you can invest in staying well. And, you know, with all this fear about getting sick and COVID and being home, sleep is really number one. I offer great solutions for that and really work with staying well hydrated. So what you drink, what you eat is important. We know what you drink is equally as important. So I work with people and businesses on those kind of areas. So I actually started 2 new businesses during COVID. One of them is helping business owners find specialized tax credits. So that's been kind of a fun pivot to do. So if you know anyone that owns property, is a business owner, that's who I'm looking for, is ways to connect and help them increase their cash flow. So it's, you know, wealth is wellness and wellness is wealth. So they're all connected. Thanks for the invitation, Cherish.
Yeah, of course. It's nice seeing you. Good morning, Miss Lisa. Can you hear me? Oh, wait, you have to unmute him. Okay.
Unmute.
Okay. Can you, we
she
can hear you. Okay. Oh.
Unmute.
I think she's got a phone call.
Oh, she's got a call. Oh, okay. Oh, can you? Oh, okay. Can
Unmute.
unmute?
There she is.
Okay. Huh.
I just didn't want to get the feedback.
Okay. Oh yeah, no, that's fine.
You're
wanna-
great.
I think you probably are.
No, we're not.
You
We're
sound
not.
great, Lisa.
You sound great, honey.
Okay, sorry about that. So, well, I actually, first of all, Diana, that was perfect. Needed a little bit of that this morning, as I think we all do, as we serve our own clients. Cherish, you're just bright sunshine all the time, and I'm always so appreciative to be around you and anybody who you know. I do see Lynn is also a colleague, and Mike, great to see you, buddy. And then, you know, just like Lynn and Mike, we serve, I also am a wealth advisor with Morgan Stanley. I have 3 partners. We have a beautiful long practice. I do, you know, we all have specialties. One of the things that I tend to focus on for our practice is we do a lot of family wealth generational planning. And I'm sure my colleagues experience that as well. But for our firm, I'm a family wealth advisor, and I have the opportunity to integrate that. A lot of the families we work with, fortunately or unfortunately, women are still outliving men. So I end up spending a lot of time with the matriarchs, women who are going through transition, and then working with their adult children, and a lot of times then the next generation. So it's really fantastic to have colleagues like Cherish and other CPAs and life coaches, and I know my colleagues really revel in having that as well. And Sherry, what you mentioned, I mean, those are just pieces to the puzzle. We all need to be able to offer that in this space for our clients. So I have 3 partners. We specialize in dedicated stock plans and specialize in retirement planning and all of the pieces, but it's all about understanding your client, helping them through this path, the emotional and the financial piece. So I feel really lucky. Been doing this a long time, and it's always nice to, you know, travel in these circles with people who we also think are, you know, adding value to, you know, their clients as well. So that's it for me.
Thank you, Lisa. So good seeing you this morning. Good morning, Miss Joy. Can you hear me? Okay.
Good morning. Yes, I can hear you. Thank you so much for inviting me. My name is Joy, and I'm an attorney. I am currently working as a closing attorney and real estate attorney. I am looking at venturing out on my own. I have been an attorney for well over 20 years, always working as either in-house counsel for large financial institutions. And about 3 years ago, my husband said, "Why are you making everyone else look good? Why don't you go out and work for yourself?" And that's always easier said than done. And so I mustered up the courage. I am affiliated with the firm, but I'm ready to take the next step. And so that's where I'm at. I would love to connect with you, Diana. And I have to say, listening to what Sherry just said about self-care, it's really so easy when you're trying to take care of a client to forget what time it is during the day and to even get up from the desk or the computer. So thank you for sharing that. Cherish, thank you so much for the invitation. So I hope to see each of you again, maybe on another.
Yes, yeah, definitely. We have this every month, and you know, just as I said, just as I said before, I met Joy at a Catholic Charities luncheon. I think it was a year or 2 ago, when we could all meet in person, and we have stayed friends. And you know, I just want to introduce you to my wonderful circle so that they can be resources for you, because I know that everybody's just so helpful. So I definitely, you know, connect with each other on LinkedIn, and I'll invite you all to my LinkedIn group. I have a business roundtable LinkedIn group. And it really is my passion to connect other people, because I know that each of you has your own unique gifts. And it really just makes me happy to connect others, because I can see the starts of wonderful, beautiful relationships. And for me, relationships with my clients, with my network, with, people colleagues who've become friends, and like family to me is just of the utmost importance. So, if I don't get a chance to connect with you, have a wonderful Thanksgiving. And then I'll invite you all to my LinkedIn group, and just be in gratitude every day. Have a wonderful day. Thank you again, Diana. You were the best. Thanks.
It was
Thanks
such an
everyone for
honor.
being here today.
What an honor. You guys are amazing.
And please, 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 please connect with Diana. I think it's just the first step in the right direction for, a prosperous, hopefully positive 2021. And even if you do hit those bumps in the road, at least you'll have the strategies that she has, discussed about, and really a platform and a game plan for handling any challenges. So have a fantastic day, everyone.
What an honor. You guys are amazing. Thank you. Thanks for your time today.
Okay, bye. Thank
Happy
you.
Thanksgiving.
Yes,
Bye.
happy
Thank you.
Thanksgiving. Okay, bye.